Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share the top items that Instagram made me buy, and it might not necessarily just be Instagram, it's a combination of Instagram and YouTube, but basically social media influence on adding some pieces to my collection. I thought this would be a fun video to do just to share. I know a lot of us are staying at home a lot more, and I don't know about you, but I am definitely consuming a lot more social media content. Therefore, I'm feeling enticed to add some new things to my collection. And then I realized that actually I've had a lot of pieces that I've added through this influence. So these are my top 8 luxury pieces that social media made me buy. First and foremost would have to be my Chanel Espadrilles. These came to mind immediately. I think I've mentioned a few times, and even in like my collection video, that I don't have a lot of high-end luxury brand shoes. It's just an area where I struggle to justify spending that much money when they're literally going to get ruined the first time you wear them out. But I had been seeing these espadrilles on social media a ton, and like on YouTube, I know like Minx for All, she definitely collects these. So I think over the years, I kept seeing them, and I kept seeing reviews of how comfortable they were. Beautiful collections on YouTube and Instagram, and so eventually I did add one pair to my collection, and I have to say it's definitely a great purchase. I do not regret purchasing these at all. I think they are indeed very comfortable, but you do have to make sure you find the right size for yourself. And depending on what style you get and how they incorporate, like you can get a pair like these that are very, very classic and pretty plain in a good way, that you can easily wear with a whole bunch of different outfits, and you can easily dress up and down. So this was definitely an influence purchase, but a very, very good one. The next item is in this box, and some of you who've watched a few of my videos, you might feel like I sound like a broken record. Definitely influenced purchase was this Chanel brooch. It's not so much this specific style that I was influenced to get, but it was the notion of Chanel brooches in general, where I had been seeing, and to this day I still see so many beautiful imagery on social media, like especially on Instagram, of like brooches just organized in a beautiful jewelry display. A lot of flat lay photos that involve brooches, and they look so beautiful. They look so enticing, and it's just so wonderful to look at. And I think especially earlier on when I was building out my collection, I had been seeing a lot of that imagery, and I felt like I also wanted to have one, like a classic Chanel brooch. Like who wouldn't want to have one of those? So when I saw something as classic as this and it had no embellishments or anything, I thought this would be perfect to add to my collection. And unfortunately, this hasn't been as great of a buy. I've mentioned it in a few videos now where I just don't wear brooches as much as I thought I would. And it's kind of like, because I made this purchase, now I know. Maybe I wouldn't have known before that. But it is an item that is unfortunately pretty much sitting in my closet. I am looking forward to trying to wear it more this spring and summer because my hair is a lot shorter. It used to be that my hair, because it was so long, it used to be like down here, that even if I wore a brooch, you couldn't see it because my hair was pretty much covering it. Now that my hair is a lot shorter, I do feel like I'll have a little more ease trying to wear it. It's still like something that I have to consciously think about to try and incorporate, but I am challenging myself this spring summer to do so and hopefully get more use out of it. Sticking with Chanel, the third influence purchase was this card holder. This is the infamous 19C pink card holder. 19C referencing the 2019 cruise collection and the specific caviar pink color that came out with that cruise collection. and I had just purchased a card holder. It was black. You can see it in my like collection video clearer, but I had just purchased that in the summer, and I definitely did not need a new card holder in like less than 6 months. I literally fell in love with this color so hard, and I saw, I think, Jerusha Couture do an unboxing of this color. I think she had the same exact piece. If not, she got like the flat card holder, I think. But she unboxed this pink color, and I like died. I did happen upon this particular item at one of the boutiques, and I was floored that I found it. So I went ahead and added it to my collection. It totally was an influence of how much people were really like obsessing over this pink color. But they were obsessing, it was like rightfully obsessed. It is absolutely a beautiful pink color. It's a very, very true pink, almost like that quintessential Barbie pink, if you will. And I haven't really seen Chanel do a pink quite like it. They've been doing a lot more colorful pieces recently, like the Tiffany blues, the slight teals, the purples. Like they have been expanding into a lot more of those like pastel tones and a lot more color, but I haven't really seen them do this kind of pink again. The more recent pinks have been really like pale, almost pastel-y. So I'm really glad I have this in my collection, and I'm also glad to say that now that I have 2 card holders, I have like stopped purchasing them because I don't really need more. But I am happy to have this in my collection. The next Instagram influence purchase has to be this Gucci piece right here. It is the Gucci Marmont Super Mini. This is the tiny size that they come out, and this is the one that has the strap. It's not the belt bag version. I purchased this last summer, so summer of 2019, and I would say the Marmont line had been out for at least a couple of years at that point. And I have to say, I've seen so much imagery of the Gucci Marmont on Instagram, on YouTube. I've seen a lot of folks add maybe not this specific piece, but a piece from the Gucci Marmont line to their collection. I've seen folks like really rave about the Gucci Marmont, the ease of use, the beautiful leather, the updated logo, and all of that stuff. I've seen so much of that raving that I think eventually when I stopped by the boutique, I was really pleasantly surprised by the piece when I saw it in person, not to mention like the really cute heart look in the back. So this is another piece where I don't think I would have purchased it on my own necessarily. After like seeing a lot of it over the years, like it wasn't like it just like flashed for like one season and it went away. It was pretty continuous, where I would see folks, you know, continuing to use this piece, doing follow-up videos, and continuing to style with this piece, that, you know, it kind of convinced me that I would be able to get a lot of use out of this piece. I've used it on a couple of trips now, and I do really like this piece. I think it's really roomy for what it is. I have a whole like what's in my bag and first impressions video as well, so you can check out more details there, but this is definitely a good addition to my collection. So now moving on to Hermes. When I was thinking about my Hermes collection, there was one item that definitely stood out as something that I saw on Instagram and I definitely wanted, and that is this round box right here. This is the like Circus round box. It has a top lid. I just have some random bits and bobs in there, and it is from, I believe, like the children's Homme collection. If I can find the original like Instagram picture that I saw, I'll add it here. But I literally saw it on Instagram. Someone just posted like one single photo of this. I died. I really fell in love with that one Instagram picture, and I started looking into like what it was. I went on the Hermes website to try and find it. I did find it, and I was like, oh, should I get it? I left it open. I don't know if you guys are like this, but like when I'm debating buying something, I like leave all the tabs open on my browser, and then slowly the ones that I realize I don't want anymore, like I'll close them out, but then there are those persistent tabs that stay there. This was one of them. I kept it open for a really long time, and then I was fortunate enough to find it when I was in Hawaii, so I picked it up while I was there. This is by far like a single Instagram photo made me buy it. From a clothing perspective, I definitely have Rochelle to thank for this one. It is the Dior Oblique t-shirt. It's like a see-through t-shirt here. And I definitely have her to thank for this because she was mentioning it was like her wish list video for 2020, I think, where she said she wanted to get the black version of this. I happened to find the white version. I actually gave up all hope. I didn't think I would be able to find it, but I did. And when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I have to have this. So I definitely have Rochelle to thank for this. Like she just wears this so well that I was like, I think I need to have it too. Like, I just absolutely need to have it. She didn't even need to like try to convince me. It was just like, she was like, I really like it. And then I saw what it looked like on her and I was like, I want it. So this is definitely also another awesome purchase, one that I am not sad that I made. Another piece that is an influence purchase is this right here. This is my Louis Vuitton Monogram scarf. And I know they come out with lots of different versions of this scarf. This happens to be the jungle print that came out last year. I first saw Melbourne share this in one of her videos, and I had seen this style before. It had kind of intrigued me a little bit. I was like, okay, like it's a nice scarf, but there wasn't that extra little something that made me want to immediately get it. But when Melbourne shared hers, I was like, what is this? Why is this so pretty? I think it's the little bit of animal print that's in here that totally pushed me over the edge, and I absolutely fell in love. I didn't know this existed until she did her video, so I wouldn't have known about it at all, but I totally fell in love that first time I saw it. I did see it in the store once in like December, and I somewhat foolishly decided to pass up on it, and then I couldn't find it after that. I was like a little gutted. I couldn't, but it kept like roaming around in my head. I would still like think about it occasionally, and that's when you know you really want something, because it's recurring in your mind. But I was lucky enough to find like the last pair at a different boutique, and that's how I have this one in my collection. I absolutely love it. I have no regrets at all, and I have Mel to really thank for this one. The last luxe piece that Instagram made me buy it is a vintage Chanel tweed set. I don't have it physically with me right now because it's actually on its way to me, but I'll insert some clips of me trying it on when I do receive it. It is this beautiful black tweed set. It comes with a jacket and a matching skirt. I purchased this off of Constance at Mrs. Vintage on Instagram. I found out about her through Claire Chanel. For a long time now, I've been wanting to add a vintage jacket to my collection. Of course, there's the allure of being able to add one from the boutique, and that might happen as well if I find one that I absolutely love. But I also just love the notion of giving new life to vintage pieces. And when it comes to vintage Chanel pieces, I really think they stand the test of time. They are classic, whatever year you wear them. When I saw this classic black tweed set in my size on her Instagram, I immediately picked it up. I was like, that's mine. This is a sign that I should get this right now. So I picked it up, and if you are interested in purchasing any vintage Chanel pieces, I would definitely check out Mrs. Vintage on Instagram. I will link all of the details for really everything that I mentioned and all the people I mentioned in the description box down below. The last item I want to share that Instagram totally made me buy is, I think, very appropriate for the time that we are in right now and the circumstances that we are under. It is this, not this particular, but it is actually a paint by number painting canvas. You can actually submit your own photo and they will send you the canvas that has all of the paint with the numbers, and all you have to do is paint according to each of the numbers, and then you can get your whole picture like this. Purchased this and received it a while ago, I'd say a few months ago, and it was just left to the side. And when I found myself at home many weekends in a row, we decided to you know, bust this out and do it, and it was actually a lot of fun. So this is our completed picture. It was a really fun activity to do. It comes with all the materials you would need. I purchased a frame so that it had something to sit in and not just like sit on the floor. So the frame is separate, but it comes with your printed canvas so that you have all the numbers there. It comes with all the paint that you would need, and it comes with paintbrushes, as well as actually some tiny hardware for you to be able to hang it on the wall if you wanted to hang it directly from the canvas. But it was a lot of fun. I will link the specific one that I purchased down below, but I know there are a ton of different brands. Like once I purchased it on Instagram, you know how the Instagram ads work, right? Like you just start getting ads for the same thing, but they're all different brands. So you don't have to necessarily get the one that I purchased, but I will still link that down below in case you don't know where to start. It was a lot of fun to be able to do one that's your own personal picture. All right, so that is everything. Those are all of the items that I could immediately think of where I felt like Instagram made me buy it. If you have any pieces that you want to share that you felt like were a total influence purchase, then let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any of these items and you felt like you were also influenced from social media. I want to say, maybe it's just I want to believe that I am not that susceptible to like outside influence on making certain purchases, but I do recognize that I am only human, and I think like when I see something pretty and I see it a lot, it, you know, eventually like plants a little seed in my brain and like makes me want to get it myself. Again, I just thought this would be a really fun video. If you have any questions on any of these items or really anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday. So until next time,